वेलकम टू माय चैनल। कैसे हैं आप सब। आज का हमारा टॉपिक है फाइनल टर्म प्रिपरेशन Eco402। तो हम स्टार्ट करते हैं। ऑब्जेक्टिव की प्रिपरेशन करेंगे। द लॉन्ग रन सप्लाई कर्व ऑफ एन इंक्रीजिंग कॉस्ट इंडस्ट्री इज अपवर्ड स्लोपिंग। नेक्स्ट है कि विच ऑफ द फॉलोइंग मेजर डिग्री ऑफ economics of the scope S into C। तो उसका करेक्ट आंसर C है। S C into Q1 plus C Q2 minus C Q1 Q2 over C Q1 comma C Q2। नेक्स्ट है कि अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट अराइज व्हेन फर्म्स आर नॉट अलाउड टू पे इक्विलिब्रियम वेजेस। इसका करेक्ट आंसर इक्विलिब्रियम वेजेस है। नेक्स्ट है कि suppose out of two automobile firms, one is producing cars and other is producing trucks, is less than the output of other automobiles firms producing both cars and trucks jointly. We conclude that the production process involves economics of scopes. Economies of scopes इसका आंसर है। नेक्स्ट है ए डाउनवर्ड स्लोपिंग डिमांड कर्व एग्जिस्ट फॉर। इसका करेक्ट आंसर सी है। ए मोनोपोली बट नॉट फॉर परफेक्टली कम्पिटिटिव फिल्म्स। अगर किसी में आपको डाउट हो तो आप हैंडआउट से चेक कर सकते हैं। करेक्ट economies of scope refer to multi products film। नेक्स्ट है कि which of the following cost always increases has output increases total variable cost। नेक्स्ट है कि एग्रीकल्चर प्रोडक्ट्स आर प्रोड्यूस इन परफेक्टली competitive मार्केट बिकॉज। तो इसकी रीज़न क्या होती है। ये सारे ऑल जो है करेक्ट है। ऑल ऑफ गिवन ऑप्शन आर करेक्ट। तो ए firm maximize profit by operating at the level of output where marginal revenue equals marginal cost। What happens is perfectly competitive industry when economics profit is greater than zero। तो इसका करेक्ट आंसर न्यू firms may enter the industry। अच्छा नेक्स्ट है कि मोस्ट ऑफ द बर्डन ऑफ द टैक्स पर यूनिट ऑफ द आउटपुट विल बी borne by consumer when demand is relatively inelastic और elastic। इसका करेक्ट आंसर है जी। नेक्स्ट है कि द बेनिफिट्स ऑफ द सब्सिडी accuracy mostly to procedures if EDE our ES is small। नेक्स्ट है in the perfectly competitive firm, the profit maximizing output is found where MC is equal to MR and MC is increasing। Next है कि suppose output of the automobile firms, one is producing car and other is producing trucks। ये हम पीछे देख चुके हैं। देखिए economy of the scope यही पीछे वाला repeated है। The supply curve of the competitive firm is its MC curve above the minimum point of the AV curve। Next है कि competitive markets generate inefficient allocations of resources when there is R। इसका correct option all of given है। Next है average revenue for a monopolist is greater than marginal revenue। Next है कि in the long run which of the following is considered a variable cost। तो इसका correct option all of given है। Next है कि import traffic generally result in all of given option. इसका भी है. Next check in the long run, if a firm is facing higher average cost than the marginal cost, then certainly per unit total cost will fall. In the long run, question क्या था? In the long run, if the firm is facing higher average cost than the marginal cost, then certainly per unit total cost will fall. The long run supply curve of the decreasing cost industry is downward sloping. अच्छा, इसका नेक्स्ट देखेंगे कि वो है the supply curve for a competitive firm is the upward sloping portion of its MC curve. When the joint output of the single firm is greater than the output that could be achieved by two different firms, each producing a single output is called as economics of scope. Next है which of the correct? तो इसका है accounting profit is revenue minus labor cost. Next हम देखेंगे suppose that Faujo Fertilizer Company Limited spends 10,000 on to input labor graph on the horizontal axis and capital graph on the vertical axis to produce 10 bags of urea. If the wages rate is 100 per hour and the rental cost of the capital is 200 per hour, then slope of the ISO cost line will be. इसका correct option -1/2 है. इसे solve करने से इसका आंसर -1/2 आता है. Next है कि firm never operates at the minimum of its ABC curve. Next है the additional revenue from producing one more unit of output is called marginal revenue. Next है the ratio of the wages rate to rental cost of the capital is called slope of ISO cost. Next tag suppose the total revenue of the monopolist increases from 10500 to 108 as a result of increase in output from 3 unit to 4 unit. The marginal revenue for the fourth unit will be. इसको जब सॉल्व करेंगे तो आंसर 3 आता है. Next tag consumer surplus measures the benefits that consumers receive from a good or services beyond what they pay. Next tag imposition of an output tax on all firms in a competitive industry will result in a leftward shift in the market supply curve. Next हम देखेंगे the procedure surplus for a market can be measured as area between the equilibrium price line and the supply curve to the left of equilibrium output. Next check the long run supply curve of an decreasing cost industry is downward sloping. Next check most of the burden of a tax per unit of the output will be borne by consumer when demand is relatively inelastic or elastic. ये repeated है. A firm never operates at the minimum of its ABC curve. Next take the benefit of subsidy accuracy mostly to consumer if AD over ES is small. Competitive market generate insufficient collection of resources when there is all of given option. Which of the following measure the degree of economics of scope? Correct option C. पहले देख चुके हैं हम. Next, like a downward sloping demand curve exists for both a monopoly and perfectly competitive firm. Next, like assume that a firm स्पैन ये रिपीटेड है नो वही है देख लेते हैं जी वही है लेकिन यहाँ पे पूछा गया है कि द इक्वेशन ऑफ द आइसो कॉस्ट लाइन इज इक्वेशन कौन सी बनेगी क्वेश्चन में पहले वाला है लेकिन बस यहाँ पे इक्वेशन का सिर्फ पूछा गया है तो 1000 इज इक्वल टू 100L प्लस 200K. Next, I assume that a film production process is experiencing increasing returns to scale over a broad range of output. Long run average cost over this range of output will tend decline. Next, like industry supply curve in short run is horizontal summation of short run marginal cost curve. Next, which of the following costs always increases has output increase total variable cost. The next economies of scope refer to multi-products firms. Next, suppose total revenue of monopoly increase the 10500 to 10800 has a result 108, 105 to 108 or has a result of increase in output from 3 units to 4 units. The median revenue for the fourth unit will be 3 इसका करेक्ट ऑप्शन है सॉल्व करने के बाद करेक्ट ऑप्शन. Unemployment arises when the firms are not allowed to pay equilibrium wages. Next, in the long run, which of the following is considered a variable cost? All of the given. Next, a competitive market generates inefficient allocations of resources when there is all of the given इसका correct option है. Next, in the long run, if the firm is facing higher average cost than the marginal cost, then certainly per unit total cost will fall. Repeated था. Assume that a film production process experiences increasing return to scale over a broad range of output. Long run average cost over this range of output will tend to decline. ये हम देख चुके थे पहले. The long run supply curve of increasing cost ratio is upward sloping. Consumer surplus measures the benefits that consumers receive from a good or service beyond what they pay. Next, in the long run, under perfect competition, a firm produces at a point where price is the equal to long run average cost. Next, a monopoly is market structure characterized by limited entry and access. Next, which of the following measure economics of scale? Cost, output, elasticity. Next, which of the following cost always increase has output increase? Total variable cost. The procedure surplus of market can be measured as area between the equilibrium price line and the supply curve to the left of equilibrium output. Next, which of the following include in economical depreciation to make it equal to user cost of the capital, interest rate plus value of the capital.